Today is the day you start ending your anxiety disorder, because I'm going to share with you 5 powerful things that worked for me and will work for you. Friends, welcome to another important video on my channel. Today we are discussing the 5 things that helped end, not manage, end my anxiety disorder for good. And when you start implementing these 5 things into your life is literally going to change, and the anxiety is going to subside. Before I get into this video, make sure to subscribe, and if you want to learn more about any of my anxiety recovery programs, head over here. Now, what I'm going to be discussing today, my friends, is more so the mental, the emotional, and the behavioral changes I made, because there was a lot of things that I experimented with during my anxiety healing. And that is why this video is so powerful and the information within it, because it worked not only for me, but continues to work for so many people that I continue to work with. And without going any deeper into this and the explanations around it, let's get into number 1, okay? Number 1 thing that helped me end my anxiety was I began taking my unconscious thoughts less seriously. Now, you may be going about your day from the moment you wake up in the morning till the moment you go to sleep, and you're believing that what unconsciously crosses your mind is what you have to follow and enact. In truth, my friends, this is all coming from an unconscious mind that wants to protect you. But not only protect you, it wants to stay in a familiar emotional state known as anxiety, because it believes, the unconscious mind believes, that it has served you so very well up to this point. So what I did was I started to go, well, I'm getting a lot of these unconscious ideas crossing my mind, and I tended to latch on to many of them, many of the irrational ones, such as, is this bodily symptom connected to an illness? Should I get it checked? Should I not get it checked? Should I talk to someone? Should I implement something to get rid of this? How do I get rid of this? And in the initial stages of the anxiety recovery journey, we can be very frantic around these ideas that cross our mind until we get to a point where we begin to separate these unconscious thoughts that cross our mind from who we truly are. It's kind of like if you're in a conversation with someone and that person is very loud and speaks repeatedly, doesn't even take a breath, speaks very loud, and overwhelms your voice. Your voice in this particular context is your higher self, or that part of you that knows it's safe, the part of you that is rational and logical, right? But it can't get a word in because the other person is so loud and repetitive with what it's saying, right? So that's exactly what it feels like. It's like the unconscious-driven ideas are drowning out your logic, your rational thinking brain, and your higher self, meaning your intuitive sides. So you need to understand, starting today, take these unconscious thoughts less seriously, right? And what comes to my mind is that movie. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe it's called Meh, right? But the characters, the emojis in the movie were like, meh, meh, meh. Something crazy goes on, and this is in connection to what's going on in your unconscious mind. You're going, meh, right? It's that kind of a response. Number 2 thing that helped end my anxiety was I stopped the hyperfixation on recovering. Oh my God. Every single day, I was so mechanical and robotic. Am I breathing properly? Am I sitting properly? Am I speaking the right words? Am I thinking the right thoughts? Oh my God, am I moving properly? Am I doing the right things all the time? I was so very nitpicky with every little thing that I was doing, saying, movement, this and that, interactions with others. And the truth is this, okay? When you become so hyper fixated on every little instance throughout the day and making sure that you're doing something that is helping you with your anxiety, you're actually depleting your willpower points. And as you deplete your willpower points, you're going to find that early in the afternoon you need to sleep or you need to lay down, and anything you do after that continues to deplete you, exhaust you, right? Feed into your already fatigued mind and fatigued body. So it's very important that you understand that the more willpower points you have at the end of the day, the better job you've done of surrendering to things, allowing things to unfold, and trusting that you don't have to be so mentally fixated on every little detail as you go about the day in regards to, am I doing it right and healing my anxiety? Because that very mindset is the mindset that's keeping you from recovering. A more than anxiety moment right there. It's keeping you from recovery because we've lost our sense of play. We've lost our sense of spontaneity. We've lost our flexibility. And everything becomes so very serious. It becomes so very stagnant, so very stiff, right? And we want to leave this world and slowly get back in touch with the part of us that wants to see the world for what it is, a gift, a gift. And we, through this attitude of no longer being nitpicky, will start to tap in to the attitude of gratitude, which is the very foundation of your anxiety recovery. Third thing I did to end my anxiety, my friends, I kept it simple in a world that looks to make it complicated, right? Especially with social media. You may get up in the morning, go on Instagram and try to find some inspiration, right? Or you may be following a quote that says anxiety quotes on Instagram or Twitter or this or that or Facebook, or visiting your favorite page. And that is making things very complicated, okay? And the truth is that the simpler you make your healing journey and the more militant you are in relation to that simplicity, the faster you're going to heal, right? So I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do. There's enough of that on this YouTube channel, and the Anxiety Guy Recovery programs will guide you to that. However, the mindset now is for you to move away from anything that continues to overcomplicate your anxiety recovery. If it feels straightforward, if it feels simple, if it even feels basic, that's what you want to master. Because it's about taking those little things and mastering them, kind of like Bruce Lee back in the day. Bruce Lee didn't have 40, 50, 60 techniques to put his opponent down, right? No. He had 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 techniques that he used on a regular basis and had mastered up to that point that worked for him and made him what he was. And this is exactly the path to anxiety recovery. Number 4 thing that worked for me in my anxiety recovery journey is I committed myself to being more decisive in my decisions. Ooh, and you wouldn't think about this, right? This wouldn't cross your mind. But with anxiety, we have trained ourselves, conditioned ourselves to be stupid. Literally. We think we are stupid after some time because we've trained ourselves to be so indecisive. I just don't know what to order. I just don't know what to do about this. I just don't know. I just don't know. How? And it's not that the how is not available to you intuitively. You already know how, right? When you become more decisive with your actions and your decisions, then the how starts to get presented to you, which is a very interesting connection. The more indecisive we are, the less resourceful we become in terms of our anxiety recovery. But the more decisive we are, this is what we're going to do. This is what I want to order. This is what I need to feed my body. This is what I'm going to say in this situation. The more decisive we are, the less willpower points we're using as well. And we can use those willpower points for something that we may need in the future. So decisiveness in action is very, very crucial. And you may feel like you're kind of stepping out of a familiar place of indecisiveness, maybe leading you to even victimhood at some points in the day. However, just remember that this feeling is connected to being unpracticed. All it is that you are unpracticed in these particular ways that will get you to true anxiety recovery and back to your true, authentic self, my friends. And finally, the fifth thing I did to end my anxiety for good was I stopped trying to mentally navigate my whole anxiety recovery journey, right? Which exact trauma is connected to which particular anxiety thing, right? Or how do I go about fixing this? Or what does this mean? Or what does that mean? And next thing you know, you're so mentally fixated on trying to heal your anxiety that you don't realize the most important aspect of anxiety recovery. And that is to feel different. We're here not to think differently, although the thinking part of things can affect you at a feeling level, but we're looking to feel differently, right? We're not just looking to think differently because we may be the most positive thinkers in the world, and that may not be affecting us at an emotional level, at a feeling level. And so we have to make sure that we are aware of this and understand that we want to feel differently, not to think differently. And what that means is that as you go about your day, it's about what sort of things do I do with my body? What sort of quick reminders will shift my emotional state from where I was to where I want to be right now? What sort of ways do I perceive the future that will shift my emotional state in the way I go about my future? So it's not about mentally navigating. It's about these quick, shifts in body, quick shifts in perception, quick shifts in action that will create the shift in feeling. And that's what we want. We want to be less afraid of the future. We want to be less caught up in what happened to us in the past and be reminded every single day that the past is actually setting us up for a brilliant and beautiful future. And the more we start to see our past in that light, what's going to happen is the faster we're going to move towards the very ingredients that will bring out our authentic and true selves, my friends. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and I want you to comment below right now and let me know what part of this video spoke to you the deepest, right? The deepest. And I will do my best to comment back. Move forward remembering that you are more than anxiety. And again, if you want to learn more about any of my anxiety recovery programs, click here and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.